they feel the pinch and we feel the pullback. And again, as business owners, we're actually closing down a brick and mortar location that we've had for years partly because we can feel this, right? You can feel it. People just stop coming. And it's like, why are they not coming anymore? Oh, they can't afford it because it's a luxury item. It is. What we were selling was a luxury item and they couldn't afford it.
Right.
And it's like, it's not going to get better. So why renew the lease, right? And
right.
That's what's
exactly.
probably going to happen.
Everyone is broke. Gen Z is broke. Millennials are broke. Freaking heck. Even boomers are broke while stealing your money. Gen Z is not spending money and they can feel a storm approaching. They can see the clouds, the dark clouds in the horizon. A disaster is very, very near. The cost of living keeps going up and everyone is afraid of World War III starting and being drafted. And on top of that, many Americans are leaving the country. Many Americans are leaving the country. Think about it. Okay? Guys, it's your boy, Andy Matrix. I'm back with another video here on Angry Guys YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of me, check out Andy Matrix Gaming, where I talk about anime, gaming, Japanese culture, and societal problems, right? So I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers. If you want to help out with that, click the link in the description and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And guys, also follow Angry Guy on Rumble because he's uploading content over there that's not allowed on YouTube because YouTube has become the censor station. So if you want to check out those exclusive videos, click the link in the description and follow Angry Guy on Rumble. And everybody, we all know that the economy is going down the drain. Millions of people have lost their jobs. We are at about 3 to 4 million job losses, right? And those who lose their job have a hard time finding another one. And we're being pushed into being dependent as there's really less and less jobs out there. And what better way to be independent than to start an online business? That's why the Angry Guy is recommending the Creator Academy. We can learn how to start your own online business, create content, build a YouTube following, create a digital product where you can start generating an income, build an audience, and, start building independence from a job because jobs are pretty much on their way out. The 9-to-5 life is pretty much over. It's not gonna be a real thing in the future. You know what I mean? At least not for everybody. Most of the population, is just we're going into I guess like a freelancing type of future. So click the link in the description. Check out the Creator Academy. If you do, you get a free guide. And let's get on with the video. So I feel bad for Gen Z, man. I feel bad for Gen Z. Not only are they most of them are broke, but many of them don't have, the same support that we all had back in the day. At least back in the 2000s, the 90s, and the 80s, people helped each other. If you needed a place to stay, somebody will give you their couch or a private room where you could stay at. Now people live in their cars because nobody wants to help each other. And if you don't have a car, well, where else are you gonna stay? And now it's every man for himself. It's every man for himself. And we got Gen Z girls starting in OnlyFans like a college student trying to get a job at Google. Gen Z men are hiding from society, and those who have money are leaving the country as well. Save yourselves, my friends. Save yourselves, because nobody else is coming to save us except God himself. Okay? I don't think this is going to get any better, but let's see what Clownfish has to say today. So here we go.
And Gen Z's too broke to go out to eat, apparently. We're going to talk about this. This is the
and millennials too, real.
Millennials too.
I get it. I do.
Millennials too, but everybody's broke. And the thing is, it's not just Gen Z and millennials. We're going to talk about the greater issues going on right now. The economy is not good. Going to be honest, and we own multiple businesses, and we can tell you can feel it. You can feel it when people don't have any money. They stop spending money. They're just, but this is the CEO of Chipotle saying that Gen Z and millennials are too burdened by unemployment and student loans to eat out. And that's one of the first things that go. For most people, for most people, when you're unemployed, is
apparently EBT lets you go to restaurants and eat out too.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so tomorrow here in America, the SNAP benefits end. So normally people get their
that's just it. That's what's there. The Chipotle, and I don't know if the Chipotle was one you could use SNAP at, but I'm just saying that's why they're all freaking the heck out, because SNAP benefits are going to end. People are going to have even less money. The ones that are getting food assistance or whatever, they're going to have even less money. And Walmart's probably going to freak out too, because that's most of their clientele. But, you have a lot of people who just can't afford it. And then you have the people that beyond the assistance programs can't afford it either, because the costs are out of control.
Yeah. Everything's going up. It's
luxuries
crazy.
Are going to go. Restaurants,
Yes.
Probably TV, movies, shopping for clothes. Holidays are probably, people aren't going to spend as much.
I was talking about it a little bit last night on Twitter. Because there are some people that said that it feels like a storm's coming. There are different, guys that follow the stock market, and they're like, yeah, it feels like a storm's coming. And I mean, I'm not trying to be alarmist. I don't want to be alarmist, but if everybody stops spending, it's almost like a bank run, or everybody's afraid to spend money, then that knocks over the dominoes that lead to what we saw in 2008, where a bunch of retail stores closed because a lot of people freaked out. And they just, we had a lot of layoffs, but a lot of people also freaked out and they just stopped spending money at retail, and a whole bunch of chains went out. Like, basically you can look at 2008 to 2010 and be like, this is when like retail died, malls died, all that stuff died. We had businesses that were healthy for decades get taken out within a couple of months. And it was shocking.
That were like century plus old businesses gone.
Okay, so I actually have a lot to say about this, because I graduated high school in 2007, and then I started the workforce basically in 2007. My first job was McDonald's. I freaking hated that job, right? And then the next year, after in 2008, I landed a job at Hot Topic, where all the gothic kids used to shop at. Yep, Hot Topic. But then it was really hard. Like, I had like a 1 or 2 part-time jobs, only working like 20 hours a week or something like that. But I could not find a full-time job. And I remember there were so many businesses just closing down. So many businesses closing down, a lot of retail stores closing down. And that's when I started to sell things online to survive. Like I told you earlier, you're gonna, like, we're living in the digital age. You're gonna have to start an online business to survive. I made my first $1,000 on the internet, selling things on Amazon and affiliate programs, things like that, right? And but there was so many places that went out of business, as the internet world started to take over, and more people went online to buy, because it was just, selling on, buying online is cheaper. Most things on the internet are like much cheaper than if you were to get it in retail. So naturally, the internet took over. I still remember this. I was so mad. In 2008, because I couldn't find a job after high school. I couldn't find a job. I was so angry. I was so freaking angry, man. But anyways, let's go back to Geeky and Neon.
Yeah, that was like the beginning of the end of Sears and Kmart, and then they tried to merge to save themselves, and they both failed. So we'll talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, we have woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Also is Halloween, so happy Halloween.
Yay, happy Halloween.
If you are a Clownfish supporter, if you go out to more.clownfishtv.com, that's more.clownfishtv.com, we do have a Halloween episode up talking about the 1980s and what Halloween was like back then. It was a very different time. Everybody had a lot more money.
Yes, but then you had to check your candy more, and razor blades and apples and
razor blades and
the smell of sweet smell of Ben Cooper costumes. Anyway.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ben Gay. That came too.
Well, no, that's when you went to certain people's houses.
Certain houses.
Now you probably know the sweet smell of Ben Gay if you wore a Ben Cooper outfit.
Yeah. Chipotle CEO sounds alarm on the American economy. Gen Z and millennials are too burdened by unemployment. It's coming from Fortune. And student loans. Well, student loans are a huge problem.
Student loans are terrible.
And it doesn't stop as soon as you hit a certain age if they're not paid off. Just so you know.
There's a reason there's a joke. They have these jokes on here, memes and stuff. What's this 90-year-old? What's he celebrating? Is his birthday? No, he finally paid off the student loan debt. Granted, it's much worse. With recent generations, it costs a lot more, but it's been set up in such a way that you could defer, or you could, if you couldn't pay it for some reason, you could push it back or whatever, but you still have to pay interest on that. And the interest is ridiculous. So you could take out like a small amount of money and still owe a, huge amount of money that's like 5 times what you borrowed in just like 10 years or so. If they don't do the interest-free, I can't speak today, deferments. So it's not just a millennial issue. Gen X has some problems with it, but I think it's mostly millennial and Gen Z.
Chipotle CEO Scott Boatwright said young diners between 25 and 35 are cutting back on dining at the Mexican-inspired fast casual chain, but these millennial and Gen Z customers are not snubbing Chipotle for other fast food spots. They've stopped dining out as frequently altogether. This group is facing several headwinds, including unemployment, increased student loan repayment, and slower wage growth.
Man, I am telling you, people are going to stop looking down on others who did not go to college, because honestly, I didn't finish. The only thing I got was like a graphic design certificate, and honestly, I'm glad I didn't finish, because for me to go to get a bachelor's degree, I was gonna have to put myself in debt, take out a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 student loan, and then struggle to pay that back while searching for a job. It wasn't gonna happen. I'm telling you, I was broke. I am telling you. And you know what's the worst? What's the worst is that the cost of going to college is still going up. Well, less and less people are going to college, but the price of the tuition for colleges are going up. Okay, that is Gen Z and millennials' biggest problem. Is the student loan debt is ridiculous. It's keeping us in poverty. And I'm telling you, a lot of these colleges, a lot of these universities, they're going to go out of business. They will go out of business. I am telling you, it's going to happen, because when nobody can afford to go to school, when nobody's willing to pay these huge prices, who's going to go to their colleges? The only people that are going to go to these colleges are rich kids. These rich kids that come from wealthy families, 6-figure earners, millionaires. Those are the only ones that are going to be able to afford to go to school, because the rest of us, it's too much money. It's nobody wants to put themselves in that much debt. And that's why so many people are going into to get certificates like IT certifications and other certifications instead of going to a 4-year school and take out a student loan and be a slave forever. There's freedom. There's freedom in not having debt. Remember that. Yes, a lot of companies are still going out of business, and we've lost millions of jobs, from 2024 all the way to 2025, millions of jobs. A lot of people cannot find another job after getting laid off, and many of us are being pushed into basically being independent and start our own, side hustles to survive. That is why the Angry Guy created the Content Creator Academy, where you learn how to basically build your own online business, create content, build your YouTube audience, your online presence, your own brand, and start create a digital product so that you can generate income and start building and being independent from a 9-to-5 jobs. And, we all know that 9-to-5s are pretty much, underway out within the next decade or so. Things are going to look so much different. So yeah, this is your chance. Check out Angry Guy's Content Creator Academy and build your online business. Click the link in the description and you'll even get a free guide. Now, let's move on with the show.
This is what he told investors.
Because everybody else is facing the slower wage growth too.
Yeah, we're not losing them to the competition. We're losing them to grocery and food at home. Mm-hmm. That is 100% true. And restaurants always, during this kind of a turndown, they are the first to go usually.
Yeah, that people aren't going to have the money for that. Might be why we're seeing the movie theaters. Besides the fact that the movies haven't been great, we're not seeing a lot of people going to the movies, and the movie theaters doing poorly. And this is probably why you're going to see other things start to go, and there's going to be panic at places that are like extras. You can't afford it. Disney keep raising prices of their parks, and that's great. Except no one's going to be able to afford it.
Yeah, And there was a whole discussion like a year ago about just how insane even the fast food prices have gotten. They said that Chipotle customers making less than $100,000 a year. That'd be 40% of their customer base. They're also pulling back. They feel the pinch, and we feel the pullback. And again, as business owners, we're actually closing down a brick and mortar location that we've had for years partly because we can feel this, right? You can feel it. People just stop coming. And it's like, why are they not coming anymore? Oh, they can't afford it because it's a luxury item. It is. What we were selling was a luxury item, and they couldn't afford it.
Right.
And it's like, it's not going to get better. So why renew the lease, right? And
Right.
that's what's probably going to happen.
I think this is one of the reasons why people really like to listen to Clownfish TV is because they were in the they were in the industry. Okay, Neon, he used to work in advertisement. He's worked for comic book companies. Like I think he's done inking. He's done something for comic books. I forgot what it was. Geeky, I believe she's worked for Disney, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall exactly, but she's worked in the industry. Okay, they have a physical location. Okay, I think they have maybe it's like a tabletop type of. I think they have some type of store. I believe they have some type of store. They also do comic books. Okay, they also do comic books. So Clownfish TV, they're in the industry. They are active in geek culture, so they know what's happening. He just said that their store closed down, right? Their store closed down. And so if not even millennials are walking in and buying from your store, the economy is not doing well. Because we all know Gen Z is not doing it, but even millennials are not walking in, dude. It's game over. It's game over.
Other fast food chains have noted the emergence of a two-tier economy of high-income earners shelling out for meals while low-income earners tighten their belts. This includes McDonald's, which has largely been propped up by customers willing to spend more money at the chain. Yeah, they have the value menu now. They didn't for years. They took it away.
It's still not a value. I mean, the prices are ridiculous. I mean, honestly, you're almost paying as much to go to McDonald's for one of their meals as you do to go to a restaurant anyway, like a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, one of the worst is freaking Wendy's. Like, if you go to Wendy's and just get a combo, you're basically paying like diner prices at that point for sub diner food. I mean, their burgers are okay. For fast food, it's okay, but it's expensive. They said there's a lot of commentary around. I mean, this is probably why McDonald's. It's probably why they're so damn desperate. They're bringing back McDonald Land and the snack wraps and the boo buckets. Anything just to get people to come to McDonald's.
Okay, so one of the main reasons why people stop spending money on fast food is because, number one, it's overpriced. We all know that. But number two is that people are learning more and more, thanks to the internet, is that these fast food chains, they're not good. Okay? They are not good. It's like the food is poison. Like McDonald's food is literally just poison. Like, it has more soy than meat. It has more soy than chicken. Many times, people have talked about this on the internet again and again and again, where there's people that leave America, they go to Europe or they go to Asia or Latin America, and they eat the food over there, and they feel amazing. Even the street food, they feel amazing, right? As a matter of fact, some people even lose weight. And then when they come back to America, they say that, all of a sudden I started to gain weight again and my health problems started to kick back again. There's something happening. There is something happening here, man. There's something in the food, and McDonald's is the worst. I can't believe McDonald's hasn't gone out of business. It really shows you that, that there's still people out there that they don't care what's in the food as long as it tastes better. Entertaining your taste buds, right? Entertain your taste buds. Forget about quality of the food. Forget about nutrition.
Because it's a luxury item now. Fast food restaurants have also made an effort to attract Gen Z diners, including McDonald's adult Happy Meals, Taco Bell's customizable drinks. They brought their retro menu back. They didn't bring the retro prices back, but they brought the retro. Taco Bell's expensive. Holy shit, Taco Bell's expensive.
Yeah,
now.
It used to be like, you really would talk about the college because it was cheap.
It was cheap. I lived on Taco Bell and Subway in the 90s.
Oh, Subway's ridiculous too. I mean, They used to do $5 footlongs. What are they up to now? Like $12.50, $13. It's ridiculous.
When I did, so I actually two different apartments I had in the 90s. Both of them were Subway adjacent. One of them was in a building. Subway was on the first floor, and the other one I was right next door to a Subway. So I was living on Subway. But at one point in time, 3 footlongs, any footlong, 3 footlongs for $10.
This is why I miss the 2000s. In the 2000s, we had Subway had the $5 footlong. Yeah, that's right. Basically a 12-inch sandwich. Yeah, about a 12-inch sandwich, $5. And that will fill you up. And if anything, just vegetables, ketchup, mayonnaise, ham, cheese, all that stuff. A footlong, $5. You could eat really good for like $7, $8. Less than $10, you could eat really good every day at Subway. And I used to eat there all the time, but not anymore. Obviously, not anymore because, things have changed and Subway is not affordable anymore. There were so many good options out there back in the day. Even if you were making minimum wage, you could eat really good. You could afford a lot of good things. Man, I miss the 2000s. I really miss the 2000s. It's not the same anymore. America is not the same anymore, dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do remember that. I do remember the 3 footlongs.
So I would buy 3 footlongs. I wouldn't get mayo or anything like that on it because it would go bad. And then I would just put them in the fridge and eat all week for $10. Mm-hmm. That was my hack. But you can't do that anymore. Now it's like, I don't know, man. Subway's pretty damn expensive. But KFC, I haven't been to a KFC in forever.
Oh, I'm sure that's really expensive too.
They said, yeah, through our research, we found over 90% of Gen Z consumers say they would visit a restaurant just for new sauces. So
I believe that though. I actually believe that.
The golden sauce was pretty good at McDonald's.
But they would every time there was news like the Rick and Morty and all that, they would be inundated by the younger people trying sauces. But I don't know if they can afford to do that anymore.
So they're talking that the banks are getting involved. FICO's like, yeah, things are not good. Student loan payments are not good. They're splitting appetizers.
Loans are insane.
They're ordering kids' meals. I actually do that anyway, just because the portions are right. But they said the lowest income growth is 25 to 29. And if you can find a job.
Yeah, it's bad.
If you can find a job. There was an article the other day in the UK. They had like 1 million graduates being turned out from colleges and only 17,000 new positions.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can believe it. But they said, people are job hugging in a low-fire, low-hiring labor market around anxiety around AI displacing entry-level workers. Gen Z is missing out on a key period of career advancements that comes from switching jobs to make more money. Yeah, I mean, they can't even get homes now. I mean, people were
but you have people holding on to their jobs because even though you can't retire as early.
No, and you're not going to move up. It used to be common knowledge. You'd start out, in the mailroom, you'd work your way up, and every couple of years you'd get a promotion, which would make room for somebody else underneath you. And now people are staying in the same positions for decades because if you leave your job, you don't know when you're going to find another one.
Bro, did you hear that? Oh my goodness. So there's 1 million college graduates and only 17,000 new job positions. 1 million college graduates and only 17,000 new positions. Can you believe that? I mean, that's, bro, man, that is crazy. That is crazy. That is bananas, bro. That is crazy to me. There's more people getting out of college than jobs are being created. So what are your chances of actually landing a job? And most of those people, let's face it, most of those people, they took out a loan. $30,000, $50,000 loan. Now, I believe he said in the UK, but either way, man, it's still, man, 1 million graduates and only 17,000 people will be able to get a job in that economy. That is crazy. And nowadays, the only people that are doing decently are the older people. The Gen X. They're doing pretty good. They're not like they're not as good as the boomers, because the boomers, some boomers are going homeless, because of their own fault. But a lot of boomers, because they steal your money and my money, actually doing pretty good. Oh man, the boomers, they got all the good shit. The boomers got all the good stuff, man, and they screwed us over, right? But the boomers, they're actually doing pretty good. A good number of them are doing pretty good. Gen X, man, Gen X, they're badass. The Gen X, they know how to survive better than anybody. They know how to rough it out. Gen X, they thug it out, for better or for worse. Gen X and millennials, man, we need to... Oh, man, millennials, a lot of millennials are in a lot of student loan debt. And Gen Z, man, they got no opportunities, man. I don't know. Like, what kind of advice do you give people? I was talking to MacBo Gaming the other day on a live stream. I was like, what kind of advice do you give to people? Like, what advice do you give to Gen Z? Like, go to college for what? So that you can get in debt? What do you tell people now? The best thing to do is just to, start your own business somehow. An online business at that. It's good to have like a physical business, especially since we're moving to an all digital future. The physical businesses, depending on what type, are going to become more important. Especially like manual labor. I know that's going to be huge. And also the digital business, because everything's going to be digital in the future. I mean, come on, But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what advice to give to this new generation, man. And I'm a millennial. I'm already 36. And I'm doing well. I have no student loan debt. I have no debt. I still have a job, and I'm able to save a lot of money. So I'm actually doing pretty well for myself, man. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel bad for the generation, man. What do you tell this generation? My advice is keep your job, save as much money as possible, lower your expenses, such as if you're in an expensive apartment, move back with your parents or move with roommates. Pay that $500-$600 a month for that little room, and then just stack up your money, keep stacking, and then eventually find a way to get the heck up out of the country. This is Andy Matrix Guy. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to like this video, comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. Everybody's your boy Andy Matrix. Godspeed, baby.